Hello everyone, my name is Barbara. I'm a Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes it. And today I have a finished object for you to share it with you, and it is a hat. I finished this amazing hat and I was so happy that I'm following Trysten Molina, and she posted her, I think it's her second design, and she gave all of us 20% off, and I was able, I think 20%, and I was able to grab it, and I had to have a hat on my needles. Anyway, breathe. As you can see, I love it so much. And the first things first, what I'm going to tell you a few things about a pattern. It is a paid for pattern. Just to let you know that I'm including link just down below under the video on YouTube. And yeah, grab it, check it, see projects, and think what you have. First of all, I'm going to tell you a few things about a pattern, and then what tools I use, and we shall see what I can add between. Okay, let's start. Maybe first a few words about designer. Trysten Molina is a designer, and she's also an indie dyer who also is a podcaster. So big hello. I'm going to put a link down below to her podcast too, maybe to her yarn shop too, and maybe the patterns too. Finger crossed that I'll have it. Remind me please. How I heard about this hat. I follow the girls from the Yarn Cafe, that's the name of the podcast, I hope I'm saying it right, and Trysten was showing it, and they were talking about bubbles and that the pattern's going to go ahead, and I was so lucky that a few days after that I was just on Instagram. Luckily, I'm on it all the time, and I was able to grab it. I was so happy. The gauge for this hat is 24 stitches by 32 rows, stuck in a stitch on US size 5, which is 3.75 millimeters. I just paused because I wrote down rows. It is a hat knitted in a round, so I'm not sure if the swatch is knitted in a round or flat. Have I done the swatch? No. I basically, when I got the pattern, I just read how many stitches I need to cast on, and I roughly knew what kind of tension I get. Can I say tension? A fabric I get when I cast on that many stitches with certain needles. I have a rough idea now, knitting so many hats, what kind of needles I need to use when I'm feeling yarn to get a hat that I want. Let's say it that way. So what the pattern tells you to use? Well, maybe not tells you to use, recommends to try first, and then play with your own size of the needles. So we have two sizes. We have US size 2, which is 2.5 millimeters, and US size 5, which is 3.75 millimeters. And I don't know when I have my pouch, and I don't know when I have my needles, but I have one set over here. That's these needles are like Amazon needles. You get them loads in the pack for very cheap, and I think when I was checking them, I was getting, I don't have a clue what 13 means. And at this point, I was taking the needles so many times off the thing, I'm not sure. Yeah, they are 2.5 millimeters, so they are US size 2. So I actually followed the first needle recommendation, but for the body, I stayed with 3 millimeters. I didn't go to 3.75. I haven't made any notes in my knitting journal. I basically was enjoying it so much, so fast. No time for writing. I think I used 3 millimeters, which is US size 2.5. Anyways, few photos if I have any on Instagram about this hat, and right now. So hopefully you'll see work in progress a little bit, not only just finished object. And what else? Why are we talking about this thing, or need to mention yarn? When I was watching the girls from the Yarn Cafe podcast, Trysten was showing a beautiful yarn, and for this you need 2 strands, okay? The pattern tells you to use fingering yarn with mohair lace yarn, what that means. Okay, for the fingering yarn, we're looking at 430 yards, which is 394 meters, and for the mohair lace we're talking about 390 yards, which is 356 meters. So we're adding those two strands together and we knit them. And I don't have a mohair, and the only thing I could use, I could go with the fingering weight yarn, but because of that fluff and lovely thing that Trysten knitted with her, I was thinking around that I'm going with a fluffy rustic, 100% wool. Why not? Kind of looks the same fluffy, isn't it? I was eager to try this yarn, and this yarn I got like 2 years ago, I would say. Would that be 2 years? And I've knitted already a jar with it. Yeah, there's a finished object video, so I'll link it down below. And I was quite happy with it. It kind of showed that it is a little bit, you know, rustic, but more podcasters I watch who use natural yarn, 100% wool, that's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to say, is that they're saying more often you wash it, the fiber connects together and gives more gentle feeling, let's say that way. So I'm just wondering how it goes, although while I was knitting it, I just thought about my sister. So Monica, you may get this. Tell me, do you want it? Do you watch it? If you watch this one, you're going to get it. So anyway, I would love to try and wear it, because why not? But I have a soft spot for my sister, and she lately is so into my knitting and those natural fiber, 100% wool, not even dyed. Yeah, it's just, why not? It was such a pleasure and such a quick knit, I'm telling you. Right. I told you already about needles, even though, yeah, I told you about the needles, I told you about the yarn, what is recommended, what I used. So this will be a hand spun, very thin. I got it on market from an older lady. I presume she just made it at home and was selling it. So I was so pleased to get this. So now I'm really tempted to knit a sweater in it, although I may knit the hat for myself too. We shall see. I will keep it, but you know, how many hats can I have? Tell me down below. Pattern contains 2 pages, and we have cables over here, as you can see. We have bubbles over here, as you can see. With me, it will be slightly different, but I handled it. I was able to follow the pattern, I presume. There's a look that I was able to check it out. It's a different style writing a pattern, which I really enjoyed because it forced me to think. So I did a section, let's call it a brim section, the way it should be, and I went to the body section, and the body section it says that you have to repeat certain things certain times. I think I missed 1 repeat, so not to have it too slouchy. You know that I'm not a fan to have a hat too big. I kind of like more beanie style, and by saying so, I basically have a measuring tape, and then when I hit around, you know, 8 inches, I knew that we can start the creases. Depends how much the creases take place. I checked how many rounds I have to do the creases. Written in the pattern, you have it written down by rounds, and basically whatever I've knitted, I already check it how big that section is, because that's basically will be something else, and just kind of pretend will I be happy with the size I'm going to get. Yeah, as you can see, I love it. Definitely it will look really good with a pom-pom. But you know, I'm a tall girl and I'm still debating should I give it to my sister or not. Second of all, what I found out about this hat, you know, it's when you flip it, it has a cute effect too. That's why I put a sheep, so when it's like this, you have a heart, and when you lift it, you have a sheep. Just in case, because I think this effect is really cool too. And I think that's all I can say about a hat. It is a mindless knitting. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know when I posted on Instagram, some of you already grabbed it, so I'm so happy that I could inspire you a little bit. I'll show you design you have never known about. And like I said, I know I'm not really a pom-pom lady, but look how cute. Yes. And here's the bag I used. Handmade bags by Dan. Check it out. Discount code. I love it so much. And my keychain. I don't want to go, but I think that's all in regards to that. Check the links down below, and I hope to see you next one. Bye! Oh yeah. And other things I will add down below is Knit a Hat Cal. So if you knitted any hats, join our annual Knit a Hat Cal. There is knitting, crocheting, make along. Any hats, you can add them too. I hope you enjoy it. There's more and more cal going on. I won't be saying what it is. Check it out yourself. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Share your whips and finished object with me using #KnittingILove, and subscribe, hit that like button, ring a bell, and I see you next one. Another hat.